British health workers applaud Margaret Keenan after she became the first person in the world to receive the Pfizer-BioNTech coronavirus vaccine outside of clinical trials. The 90-year-old grandmother from Northern Ireland was given the jab in central England on Tuesday. Her treatment means the UK is now the first Western country to roll out mass vaccinations to the public. For Keenan, it was hard to believe she was part of a historic moment.
I thought it was a joke, to tell you the truth, to start with. I couldn't believe it, but I'm happy it's happened. And now I've done it, and hopefully it'll help other people to come along and do as I did, try and do the best to get rid of this terrible thing. Yes.
Not long after, this British man became probably the world's second most famous person, named William Shakespeare. The 81-year-old became one of the first people to receive the vaccine.
Groundbreaking, I think. It could make a difference to our lives from now on, couldn't it? The start of changing our lives and our lifestyle.
Good morning.
Britain has ordered 40 million doses of the Pfizer-BioNTech shot. About 800,000 doses are expected to be available within the first week. Care home residents and carers, the over 80s and some health service workers are top priority to get them.
We are in a constant situation where we have widespread transmission. But vaccines are a great tool. They will be very helpful, but the effect of the vaccine in providing some kind of immune barrier is still far off. The things that must be done to prevent an increase, an uptick, a surge, whatever you want to call it, are the public health measures, the distancing, the hand washing, the identifying every single case, identifying every single contact backwards, the people that you've been in contact there, but also forwards. Who led to you being infected? Those things must be done with ever greater rigor to stop this intense transmission.
California's sweeping new stay-at-home orders, which will last 3 weeks, took effect on Monday across major portions of the state, a day after it set a record with new coronavirus infections topping 30,000. Under the restrictions ordered on a region-by-region basis, gathering with anyone outside a person's household is forbidden. Bars, hair and nail salons and tattoo shops will close, and indoor and outdoor dining are banned.
Yeah, we're always worried.
A devastating blow for Jennifer and Andrew Pappas, owners of Papa Pavalos in Stockton, California.
Yeah, we have 4 kids and we've got a big obligation here. We've got numerous loans that we've taken out. Believe me, we don't sleep much at night.
The restrictions come as hospital intensive care unit beds are filled almost to capacity across California, and on Sunday it marked a new record for hospitalized COVID-19 patients.
So as bad as things are right now, they're going to get a lot worse.
On CBS's Face the Nation on Sunday, former FDA Commissioner Dr. Scott Gottlieb warned it's likely the pandemic will continue to worsen in the coming weeks.
I think by the end of the year, we'll be at probably about 300,000 deaths, and by the end of January, we could be pushing 400,000 deaths. We're going to see consistently probably 2,000 deaths a day, and as we get into January towards the peak, we're going to see over 3,000 deaths a day, unfortunately, and we maybe get close to 4,000 deaths a day. So this is going to get a lot worse.
Nationwide, COVID-19 infections in the U.S. are at their peak, with an average of about 194,000 new cases reported each day over the past week, according to a Reuters tally of official data. So far, there have been 14.7 million infections and over 280,000 coronavirus-related deaths reported in the country since the pandemic began.
Iran's top court said Tuesday it would uphold a death sentence against a high-profile dissident journalist. Ruhollah Zam was captured in the capital Tehran last year after years of exile in France. Iran called the arrest an intelligence operation.
A review of last year's mosque massacre in New Zealand found the country's security agencies were, quote, almost exclusively focused on the threat from Islamist terrorism rather than other threats, including white supremacists. Brenton Tarrant, the man who killed 51 Muslim worshippers in Christchurch last year, is a white supremacist. On Tuesday, New Zealand's Royal Commission of Inquiry gave the results of its investigation into what was the country's worst ever killings. They criticised authorities for
These were failings nonetheless.
It's been almost a year since the first cases of COVID-19 were detected in central China, in the city of Wuhan, before there was an outbreak here and later the world's pandemic. China first alerted the World Health Organization to 27 cases of viral pneumonia in Wuhan on December the 31st. Since then, more than 67 million people have been infected with the virus, and some 1.54 million people have died. But aside from face masks, few hints remain of Wuhan's early role in the pandemic, even while many countries still struggle to contain the virus. In a wet market 15 minutes drive from the epicenter of the Wuhan outbreak, shops hum with daily life. Sellers catch and gut fish, while visitors buy vegetables, live frogs and turtles. Vendor Ni Ginsun shrugs off fear of the virus.
I'm not afraid. What is there to be afraid of? The whole world is like this now.
Some say it didn't originate in Wuhan at all.
It's definitely not China where the virus originated. You wouldn't find it in central China. It must have been brought over by someone else, don't you think?
Wuhan was initially hard hit by the coronavirus, recording over 50,000 cases and nearly 4,000 deaths in the early months of 2020. Residents still remember the pressure of the 76-day lockdown they endured, when the city's empty streets were bisected by kilometres of thick yellow barricades that cut off businesses and kept people at home. But those memories are becoming more distant as the city returns to a daily rhythm. Wuhan has not recorded a new locally transmitted case in several months, and China's relative success in controlling the virus has become a key talking point in Chinese state media. Local people like Hu Hang put it down to self-discipline and personal hygiene.
Everyone is quite strict with personal safety measures. People are always wearing masks when outside. I have been out of Wuhan and I realised that people from outside of Wuhan would never wear masks.
The city's recovery is in sharp contrast to other major economies heading into the holiday season. The United States recorded 15,000 deaths last week, the highest 7-day rate since April, while European countries have rolled out tight restrictions on gatherings ahead of Christmas.
A world-first move aimed at protecting independent journalism. Australia finalised plans on Tuesday to make Facebook and Google pay its media outlets for news content. Under laws to go to Parliament this week, big tech firms must negotiate with publishers and broadcasters how much they pay for content that appears on their platforms. If they can't strike a deal, a government-appointed arbitrator will decide for them. The law amounts to the strongest check on the tech giant's market power globally and has been strongly opposed by internet heavyweights. It follows 3 years of inquiry and consultation, which spilled into a public brawl in August. The US companies then warned they might stop offering their services in the country. Facebook Australia said on Tuesday that it would review the legislation. A representative for Google declined to comment, saying the company had yet to see the final version of the proposed law. Until recently, most countries have stood by as advertisers redirect spending to the world's biggest social media website and search engine. Some say it starved newsrooms of their main revenue source, bringing widespread shutdowns and job losses. Facebook and Google are thought to take more than 4/5 of Australian online advertising spending between them. Other countries are taking action too. This year, a French regulator told Google to negotiate with publishers over payment for news content. The matter there remains before the court.